started with a debate.
It is a special day today to the glory of the Almighty God that we are all exceedingly blessed to be present on this edition of Abia'S gubernatorial.
A statement of commitment to the social contract with the people.
This debate promises to leverage us with the opportunity to meet our distinguished candidates.
Then, the real governance. Abia'S founding fathers envisage a state that will guarantee all-round developmental and sustainable future for generations. But how far have we fared in the journey? In 21 years of unbroken democratic experience, join the Abia debate team on Friday, June 12th, Democracy Day, as we review the Abia project and the way forward.
Abia project and the way forward.
The interaction will be aired live on partner radio stations. Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM, Real 99.1 FM, Buzz 89.7 FM, and also AF News and Abia Pulse News Online.
Sir Chikwe Udensi, we thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Okay. So I would like you to highlight some of the peculiar security challenges that are facing Abia State, confronting Abia State as it were, and then the impact of these challenges on investment and socio-economic growth in the state.
Thank you very much. Security of life and property is very important. Everything revolves around security. But you cannot properly identify these problems without looking backwards. Because if you do not know where you're coming from, you probably do not know where you're going to. So it's important to go back a little bit and see the problems we had, especially 70s, in the 80s, and 90s, and then now in the 2000s. In the 70s, immediately after the Civil War, the problem essentially was armed robbery. That was what affected lives and properties then. There were other picking pockets, especially in Trinidad and the urban areas. There was burglary. But the major one that stood out was armed robbery. It created enormous problems in the 70s and also even went into the 80s. In the 80s, the problems that are major then were bank fraud, ritual murder. There were also commercial fraud. There was also stealing goods and services, goods in transit and stationary goods. But more importantly, between the 80s and 90s, it was the advanced free fraud problem and ritual murder. These were the two things that constitute enormous concern to security of life and properties. Now, in the year 2000, these other ones I have earlier highlighted have not affected, so armed robbery is still available amongst us. Burglary, bank fraud, the one they call self fraud. I don't need to explain all that now. So in this 20, the year 2000 came in the internet, and the internet came very serious problem. Internet fraud. There was ritual killings and murder from interactions with the internet. Then also came kidnapping that created enormous problem in the system. Life and properties were affected. The kidnapping continues, and when there was a serious attack on it, as if we're having a heap of relief. Boko Haram, insurgency, Islamic sects came into with a serious vengeance. At the point we had almost 18 very serious Islamic groups that threatened the security of the country. And when the government tried to do something about it, making sure that the identified area where they were, like the Sambisa forest and all the forests around it, especially the ones that went towards our borders, when they were attacked, they totally disseminated into other areas and moved into other communities. And they had to use a vehicle. That vehicle they used was a headership. They were called headers. They were called cattle reavers. They moved into our community and became a very serious threat. And that's exactly one of the things we are suffering now. That's what we're looking for solutions to. Like I said earlier, if there is no security, it affects almost all the facets of our being. You can't have proper economic activities or economic growth where there is insecurity. You cannot have proper educational arrangements where there is insecurity. Healthcare facilities will be affected, even healthcare delivery will be affected by insecurity. And it is very important that good solutions are found. In the 70s, the solutions that came were the Anti-Robbery Act. In fact, if you remember, there were very serious death sentences that were passed that most armed robbers were executed, especially in public. And the 80s and 90s that had to do with the advanced field fraud and ritual murder. You remember the Section 419 that took over the advanced field fraud name. The Section 419 was created to ensure that those financial frauds, and especially where it had to do with a combination of murder and killings, senseless killings, it was sizably curtailed. By the year 2000, came Obasanjo's government trying to see how they can help with reducing the effect of fraud in the system. That was what gave to EFCC, ICPC. The police established the export unit. Even the one they call the SFU, the Special Fraud Unit of the Nigerian Police Force. And there were also some laws that were enacted to see how best to affect to stop this scourge. For kidnappers, it has not abated. Kidnapping has remained a very major issue. It has affected economic activities. It has affected the movement of people from one place to another. It has affected all the facets that have to do with developmental activities in Abia State.
Now, sir, sorry, you've highlighted some of the peculiar security challenges we have, in fact, in the country. We want to know what impact do they have on our socio-economic growth, especially as it concerns Abia?
I was coming to that. I had to first of all give you a background information. After giving you the background information, then I'll come specifically to the economic impact such activities have affected our people. For example, in the 2000, kidnapping has affected all economic activities in our urban areas. It has affected directly, affected indirectly, and it has caused our people to exhibit enormous fear in even executing most of the activity. Internet fraud, especially the one that has to do with internet banking has massively affected activities. Last year alone, the records we have is that there was this loss of 185 billion from internet fraud. 185 billion naira. That's enormous money. And it affected also our business in Abia State, specifically. The use of internet banking has made businesses progress, and the progress also. The fraud is enormous. If you look at also the movement of goods from one place to another, the cost of movement of goods has escalated because of fear of kidnapping on the road and banditry, robbery on the road. It has not abated. Armed robbery on the road has created the escalation of prices of goods and services. Even the cost of transmission of these goods and services from one point to another in Abia State have escalated as a result of this insecurity. These are the areas that enormous interest has to be put, but it has not been done yet. The little has been done, and the little that has been done is too little, too late. That's what we're saying, that we need to beef up to a large extent, to a massive scale, the security apparatus of Abia State.
So,
Yes.
okay. Now, looking at all these problems that you've put before us, where do we go from here? Is there a possibility that we can have a homegrown solution, or do we look elsewhere for solutions?
What we have right now, what we have in place, is the federal agencies. We have the Nigerian Police Force, we have the Civil Defense, and we also have the DSS. There are a host of others that are not directly involved with proper security of life and properties. But the fact remains that these agencies cannot handle the internal security of Abia State, for example. They cannot do it efficiently. You and I know that. There's no saying obvious. Do we have therefore suggested that there is a system, there's a solution that works around the world? That solution is always community policing. We have suggested that there should be an efficient community policing project that should be embarked upon by every state, especially Abia State. But this is not done. And if you remember last time I spoke to several groups, I expressed my anger and frustration with the inability of Southeast governors to have established a very solid and competent, effective community policing project. Through what others have done, through what West did by one of the establishment of the Abatoku, which is very efficient. And this was done within 2 weeks. 1 year into the idea of bringing Winnipeg, the Southeast governors are not doing much. So the solution to it lies on the need for our government, especially in Abia State, to be a little bit more proactive. How will you be more proactive? By ensuring that community policing is properly put in place. If you do not put community policing in place, the extent to which there should be proper security of life and properties within our rural areas, we won't achieve much. Let me give you information. Maybe you do not know. Most of our entire forests have been occupied in the United States. You do not know that. But we have intelligence information on that. Our entire area, inside our bushes, militants are there. Very violent groups are there. They are digging in, they are establishing themselves. I don't care the name they call themselves. You cannot go into a people's place, take it over, no matter how remote it is, and then start causing all kinds of mess. This is the problem we have today in Abia State. Ritual killing is still going on, kidnapping is still going on, and the major one now is these headers.
Well, I'm afraid that's where we'll have to let you go, sir. We want to thank you for offering to speak to us on this very special day. We've been speaking with Sir Chikwe Udensi, former governorship candidate in Abia State. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
It all started with a debate.
It is a special day today to the glory of the Almighty God that we are all exceedingly blessed to be present on this edition of Abia gubernatorial.
A statement of commitment to the social contract with the people.
This debate promises to leverage us with the opportunity to meet our distinguished candidates.
Then, the real governance. Abia'S founding fathers envisage a state that will guarantee all-round developmental and sustainable future for generations. But how far have we fared in the journey? In 21 years of unbroken democratic experience, join the Abia debate team on Friday, June 12th, Democracy Day, as we review the Abia project and the way forward.
Abia project and the way forward.
The interaction will be aired live on partner radio stations. Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM, Real 99.1 FM, Buzz 89.7 FM, and also AF News and Abia Pulse News Online